What's going on, Fearless Agent Nation? Welcome back to another Fearless Agent live stream inside of our Fearless Agent Facebook group. If you're not already a member of this group and you're watching this record on my YouTube channel, make sure to go to Facebook and look up Fearless Agent, the group, so you can be involved with over 8,000 other real estate agents across the world that are dominating their real estate life. Today we're going to follow up with a topic from one of my followers on YouTube, Mr. Daniel Jones. Not sure if he's in this group, but you'll see it on my YouTube for sure. He asked the question, how do you determine if a seller or an appointment is qualified or not? So we're going to talk specifically about the difference of a listing appointment and a buyer appointment. Okay, so there's really two things that are extremely important. As you guys are hopping on, click where you're from, write in the comments where you're from so we can start to understand where the Fearless Agent Nation is coming from, and make sure to give me feedback if this is any value for you at all. Okay, so first off, we're going to start with a seller. Have you ever wondered how to determine if a listing appointment is qualified and worth your time to go on, or if it makes sense to just get back on the phones and set other appointments? I know a lot of you have asked me this question, so we're going to answer it for Daniel right now. So there's two really important things that you've got to determine when going on a listing appointment. And there's several steps to get ready for that, but there's two questions that I always want answered. Okay, number one is I really want to know what their motivation is. And a great way to start with that is to think about if you're at a party with your friends and one of your friends says, hey, we're looking to move, right? And I want you to think of it as a person, not as a real estate agent for a second. What's the first question you're gonna ask them? If you ask them, if you said, where are you moving to next, then you got it right. So that's the first question you wanna ask, is where are they moving and what takes them there and what's their time frame, okay? So this is going to clarify their motivation. Okay, so the first answer to what makes a qualified listing appointment is what's their motivation? Where are they moving? Why are they moving? What's their time frame? And I want you to think about this. Which type of seller is more motivated? The guy that's moving to Chicago in 2 months for a job transfer, or the guy that wants to build a bigger house because he wants to build a bigger house now, right? The market's good, the market's hot. If I can get this, then I can build my new house, right? I mean, clearly you know the answer between the two of those. The second one I gave you is that's the definition of a gambler, right? So the purpose is to find out, is this person a real seller? Are they serious? Are they motivated? Are they going to do something? Or are they a gambler? So the first thing you got to do is, what's their motivation? Where they move and what takes them there and what's their time frame, okay? The second thing, which is not as important, but still really important depending on what market we're in, is you got to find out what's their payoff, how much they owe. Do they have that smell of equity inside of their house, right? Now, I'm not going to say that always you have to have equity in your house to sell it, because I've worked personally with a lot of clients who've brought in $5, $10, even $20,000+ to close. We were in a more depressed market at the time, and they had to sell. Right? Or the other option is you could use it as a short sale. Now, the disadvantage to those type of sellers, if they have to bring money into close, is they're going to be penny pinchers. They're going to try and beat you up on your commission. They're going to be, really bummer to work with the entire time. Okay? But if you find that guy that's got a lot of equity and a very high motivation, he's the greatest seller on the planet. He's going to do whatever it takes, price his house completely right using the pricing strategy, pay you your full worth and then some, and he's gonna be your freaking favorite client ever, and he's gonna refer everyone to you. Okay, so that's the first part, is the seller. And if you guys that are on here, remember to put where you're from so we know exactly where the Fearless Agent Nation is growing to. And also, if this is creating value, give me some reactions or post in the comments, yes, this brings value to you. Awesome. So the second part is we're going to talk about is how do you make sure that your buyer appointments are qualified? And well, number one is before you meet with them, okay, we want to make sure that they've had a conversation with your lender, right? With your lender. Now, oftentimes we'll talk to buyers and they'll say they're qualified up to X amount, and you ask them where, and they're not even quite sure who qualified them, or they can't send you the information or whatever. So what I always do is say, hey, listen, I totally understand and I totally appreciate you've met with a lender. Let me ask you something. If I could help you keep from losing money on your loan, would you want to hear more about it? You would? Awesome. Well, why don't I do this? Why don't I have my lender give you a call? Her name is Kim. She's the best at what she does, and she's saving all my customers a bunch of money. And you're okay with saving money, right? Awesome. So when I set the appointment up for, today's Monday, let's say Wednesday at 3, right? Because I do 3 and 5 for my meetings. So we got a meeting at Wednesday at 3, and usually if they don't have a lender, they're open to talk to my lender right away. But if they're not, I have to sell them like I just demonstrated a little bit. And so quickly after I set the appointment for Wednesday, I make a rule before I meet with them Wednesday. If they haven't spoke with my lender and she can't tell me that yes, they can buy, I'm rescheduling that meeting. I don't want to spend time, 30 minutes with them, right, to a buyer that I don't even know has the money to buy. Right? So a couple rules to understand when you're working with buyers, okay, is number one, don't run out and show them homes. Whether you get a call off a Zillow or a sign call or an internet lead or whatever it is, you're going to waste a lot of time running out there. And I know what you're saying. A lot of people do it. But guess what? A lot of people only sell maybe 4 to 12 homes a year. Do you want to be that guy that sells only 12 homes a year? Or do you want to be that guy that sells 50 plus, 100 plus homes a year with really motivated, qualified people? Well, if you're the latter, like me, like what I want to do, always make sure to meet in office first and make sure that when you do meet with them, okay, that they have spoke with your lender. Awesome. And another tip, you could actually meet with these buyers at like a coffee shop or something like that. Oftentimes, there's a little place near my house called Scooters. It's got a little conference room. I'll meet them there if it's just easier for my schedule. But when they're willing to come in to the office to meet with you, I can promise you this, assuming that you like them, you're going to sign a contract with them. Yep, you heard me right. If they come into your office and they've met with your lender and you like them, they will sign a buyer's agency with you in the office. In fact, I cannot remember the time. It would have had to have been 8 years ago, the last time that I did anything with a buyer without a signed agreement. Anyone that works with me on my team, well, they know, hey, we're not working with these buyers unless they come in, sit down, have a meeting with us. We do a Fearless Agent Buyer's presentation and they sign a contract. So hopefully this helps you out today. Just to recap, with the seller, make sure they're motivated and check for equity, but it's not required. What's really important is their motivation, where they're moving, why they're moving, what's their time frame. Okay? If it's going to Chicago for a job transfer, that's your winner. If it's because they just got a divorce and they're selling, that's your winner. If it's because they want to get a bigger house, right? Just because the market's hot, if they can get X amount, then they'll do it. That's a loser. That's a gambler. Cool? The next part is your buyer. Get them in office meetings, set an appointment, and before you meet with them, have your lender talk with them. If this creates value for you, please write yes in the comments below and click the share button if it's available on your screen, and subscribe to my YouTube channel if you haven't already for a ton of other great videos like this. If you're not already part of the Fearless Agent Nation, go to fearlessagent.com, get signed up by the end of the month so you can save money before prices go up. Also, if you're already a part of the Fearless Agent Nation, we totally appreciate you. We appreciate guys like you, Chad, who are crushing it right now in Atlanta. Billy, thanks for hopping on. And if there's anything else I can do for you, make sure to send me a message or put a question on this stream so that I can answer these questions in future streams. All right, we'll see you guys.
Yeah, it's cool too with the in-person masterminds because we're able to build such deep relationships.
Yeah.
Like an hour a week on the phone for our calls, it's mostly about business. Together, it's like, man, every new person in the group just becomes a great friend.
Yeah.
Like I haven't had this many solid friends like